A chat with Chuck Daly about a pretty fair Christmas gift, I'd say. His book, Daily Life. When you're unwrapping the Christmas presents from under the tree, seems every year sweaters and books are very popular. Well, I'm going to tell you something. This is a heck of a book. It ought to be very popular this Christmas. And besides, it's probably the only book cover that George Blaha will ever get on. The other recognizable guy there, along with the handsome coach Chuck Daly. And not only that, it's a very interesting book about a very interesting guy. And I would imagine, Chuck, that it was kind of fun to put together, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was kind of tedious, but Joe Falls basically made it happen. I might add that in looking at this book, when you see George's cover, it doesn't matter that we make any money. We got enough money from his mother. We never have to work again in terms of getting him on the cover of a book. But yeah, it was, in a lot of ways, it was kind of a fun book. But there's some work involved, and you learn a lot about yourself and a lot about the book business when you get involved in something like this.
I learned a lot about you reading the book. I think everybody probably wondered, how's a guy become one of the best high-fashion dressers in the nation when he's from Kane, PA? But that started with your dad, didn't it?
Yeah, my father was quite a dresser. There's a picture of him in there, and he's got his vest on and his hat. And I had a teacher, a coach, a guy by the name of Stuart Edwards, who was a great dresser. But I think that's something innate. It's kind of a fun thing I like to do. It keeps you from getting bored to death on the road when you walk around and look at stores. You can only look at so many tapes and eat in so many restaurants. So the dressing is a fun thing, and of course, Cousins has helped.
You know, Chuck, your mom and your dad and your brother were featured very prominently here. You went into some personal things, some great reminiscing about younger days and how close you were to the family. How difficult was that to do? I thought about that when I was reading it. How emotional was that?
Not really that bad, because, you know, it's something that has happened in the course of your life. And when you do a book like this, Joe would show up about every other day, and we'd tape segments. Now, a lot of material obviously didn't get in there because there's only so much you can put in. But, you know, it's a form of talking about your family. It's a love situation. Both my parents, of course, have gone now. But, you know, you look at it in a different light after it happens, after the years go by, and you realize how much they meant to you, what they had to do with forming your life. And, but good people.
Always wanted to be involved in athletics, obviously. You can tell that when you read Daily Life. And we'll get along with the basketball portion of the book after this from Dunham's.
You bet.
It wasn't easy from a small-town basketball player to small-town coach to make it all the way to the coach of the now two-time defending champs, Chuck. Is that maybe the thing that stands out most in the book?
I like to think that. I did a small video for the NBA, and I talked about the fact that, you know, if I can do it, anybody can do it. But the bottom line is that you start out as a very small high school with no notoriety, no one knows who you are, and work yourself up through the ranks. It just shows what you can do, no matter what line of work you're in. It doesn't have to be coaching. It might be broadcasting, might want to be a lawyer or a doctor, but the work ethic and the determination and the willingness to stay with it. I have a strong feeling about the fact that a lot of professions weed themselves out. People say, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a fireman, I want to be an engineer, but they quit along the way. If you really want it, you can work for it, and anybody can do it, if I did it, for sure.
Well, he sure did it. Hey, what's the thing that people seem to like best about the book?
I don't know if there is any one thing, but I'll tell you what happens. One person will come up and say, gee, I love the part about your autobiography and your hometown. And someone else will come up and say, geez, I like the diary part because I didn't understand what went on in the game aspects on a day-to-day basis. And that's what we did during all of the playoffs. It became in a diary form. And then some people just like general philosophies that you develop in the coaching. So it has interest for a lot of people. And boy, we're getting great interest around the area from bookstores and people coming in. I've done some signing at Hudson's and went to book people, went to Borden's, and people come in and they, you know, as a Christmas gift, particularly I've left some that are signed in a lot of those stores, and they pick it up as a Christmas gift. A lot of people seem to like it.
They're available at most every bookstore in the area?
I would say just about every bookstore in the area.
World-class cover, great book.